Are you someone who loves the idea of doing DIY but feels so intimidated by all the tools you're already supposed to know how to use? I'm going to tell you about one tool where if you're really serious about DIY projects at home, you genuinely can't live without. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 reasons why I'm such a big fan of the pocket hole jig and how it can dramatically change how you do DIY projects at home. I am not affiliated with Kreg at all. I just wish someone had told me about this instead of me trying to figure it out by watching lots of videos. It's Alyssa and I like to share real DIY content, mistakes and all, where I learn things along the way. If you like that, please follow along. Why should you use one as a beginner? It replaces joinery techniques that usually take years to get good at, and you have to get all the equipment and learn how to use it. The resulting joint is actually quite strong, and it's forgiving of slightly imperfect measuring, which matters a lot when you're still building confidence and you're a beginner DIYer. Since I've gotten this, it's not limited me to what I can do or make. It's made me more confident, made me very proud of my work, and allowed me to make small projects and very big ones. Getting the Kreg jig is totally worth the investment if you want to build furniture or cabinetry. It saves you heaps of time in having to do extra measuring out to find the center of your material, and you don't have to learn any joinery techniques or buy the tools to replicate those joinery techniques. It allows you to have hidden fixtures without having to buy other tools like this biscuit joiner and biscuits. It's great value for money if you want hidden fasteners and really strong joins. So now that you know why I love it, let me show you how to use a Kreg jig pocket hole jig and how it actually works and how to set it up for your projects. Once you get that right, you can do anything. Now, Kreg and other brands have many different types of pocket hole jigs that you can use. This is the one that I have, where it's got a clamp and it comes with all these tools to be able to drill the pocket hole and to also drive the screws into it. In this kit, you get the pocket hole jig. So there's the clamp, a drill bit with the collar. So this helps to set the depth of your drilling for different thicknesses of material. You get an Allen key to help adjust the collar. This is the driver to help screw the pocket hole screws in. It's got a square tip, and this is a spacer block for really thick pieces of wood. This is how you set up this type of pocket hole jig with the clamp. So the first thing you have to do is to determine what thickness of your material is going to be. The thickness of this is about 18 millimeters. So here we have a few guides, and this is to set up the drill bit and the collar. So I'm going to set it up to 19 millimeters because that's the closest to the 18 millimeters. How we do that, we first loosen the collar. So here we've got the area where the collar will go, and then we're going to line this line up, the 19 millimeter line, to the shoulder here on the drill bit. Okay, so there's the collar and there's the edge here. We'll just take this to the 19 mils here. I've got my Allen key and I'm just going to tighten that there. So first we're going to set up the drill bit, and we've done that here. See, there's the 19 millimeters. We turn this, you can see that this shoulder here of the drill bit lines up with the 19 millimeter line, and that lines up because the collar here, see, it's at the stop, so that's been tightened there, and that's at the 19 millimeter line. The next bit we have to set up is the drill guides. So at the moment here, you can see that there are some lines here, and it's currently set up to 16 millimeters. So we need to adjust it to 19 millimeters. This will determine how deep the hole will go. To do that, we've got this nut here, this adjustable screw, and we can loosen that or tighten it. And now I'm going to pull this up to 19 millimeters to line up with this edge here. Then we tighten the screw. There's a little hole for each of the markers, 12, 16, 19 millimeters, and it will lock it into one of these holes. The cutting depth is now 19 millimeters, and we've also got our drill bit to 19 millimeters. Now we adjust this handle part to make sure that it will clamp our material between this gap here. Pull back the handle to loosen it, put the material in, bring it into clamp. It's not pulling all the way down, so we're going to adjust it here. So I'm going to bring this in, bring the locking nut in, and then just make this go back a little bit. That might be too far, but let's see. Yeah, that's way too far, because we can see there's still a gap. It's not clamping it. So I'll just adjust it to make it a bit longer. So that's the right length. Let me try. Yeah, that's quite tight. I'm trying to pull the material up and it's clamped. So I'll lock that with the locking nut, and now it's all set up ready. Now we can drill. This is just a piece of scrap wood, but if I wanted to join it, usually I put a hole close to the end from each end and maybe 1 or 2 in the middle, depending on the length of the material. You also need to consider how close to the edge it will be. One, you don't want to split the wood, but also there might be other things coming in from other directions, like you might put a bottom or a top on your cabinet. So if you're going to be drilling into here, you don't want it to hit into the screw of your pocket hole here. Here, we've got some guides of where the holes come out to be, and here as well. If you've got longer material, you can mark lines to line up with those lines as well, and that way it will always hit exactly where you want. So I'm going to just line the edge of this up with here, just for this exercise. We're going to load up the driver, the drill bit. Here's my battery driver. I'm going to load this up in there, and now we're going to drill. And there's our pocket hole. So the next thing you have to do is get the right screw length, because if it's too long, it'll go through the other piece of material. Same as here. If you didn't adjust this section here, you'll do what I did here, and you accidentally drill holes into your jig, which is what you don't want to do. This is a pocket hole screw. See, it's got a square head. This probably isn't long enough to go through here. I'll demonstrate it anyway. So now we're going to swap over to the driver to screw hole screw in. Don't know if you can see that, but there's a screw in there. It's pretty clean, this join, and you can see it's pretty strong as well. And that's just one screw. And then when you look at this side, you can't see how it's joined, and you didn't use any special joinery skills. So it gives you a really strong join, really easy and beginner friendly because you didn't have to do a bunch of measuring out, and it's a really strong join. Mistakes to avoid: using the wrong screw length for your material thickness, not setting the jig's thickness guide correctly, and drilling too close to the edge of your material, which can cause it to split. So I've just shown you how to use the Kreg jig pocket hole jig. If you're starting out and doing DIYs, and I've convinced you to use pocket hole jigs, but you're not ready to commit to maybe something of that size that I just used, you can get various different types of pocket hole jigs on the market. They can range from small little jigs just for one hole that you can clamp into your material. If you don't use it again, then it's not as much of a bigger loss. But if you get addicted and you know that you're going to be making lots of projects, then yeah, you can look at the ranges and see the other ones that you can invest into. When I was shopping around looking to get a pocket hole jig, I invested into this one because I thought I want to make it as easy for myself as possible. This has all the guides. It actually has the clamp. I didn't want to have to get an additional clamp and then line up my material to get it straight every time I wanted to drill a pocket hole. But I also knew that I wanted to take on even bigger projects, so it was worth the investment. And if you subscribe, you'll be seeing more of these larger projects. I've got big cabinetry that I want to build for our entryway. If you decide to get one, just practice on a small piece of scrap wood. See if you can borrow one from someone. Usually at places you can do a return if it's not for you, but just make sure you clean it really well before you take it back. I promise you'll be hooked and you'll be building all the projects that you've got in your brain. Tell me in the comments what project you're going to make with your pocket hole jig. I'd love to hear of it.